Can you hear me now? Hello? Okay, guys, thanks so much for bearing with me here. I'm getting everything set up. But the training is going to get started in just a moment. Hello? Okay, guys, thanks so much. In just a moment. Oh, can you still hear me? Okay, I think it's on there now. I think that's going through now. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining with the live training, Joomla training right now. And if you can hear me, just type yes, I can hear you, just to make sure. If you can hear me. So I share that on Facebook and Twitter. And thanks guys so much again for your patience. I am just sharing some things here. I have a lot of people who want to join this. So I want to make sure that I give them a chance to be able to start connecting with this now. All right, awesome. Okay, so I want to get started here. Let me first go back here. Okay, so thanks so much for joining me. On the page that you're looking at right now, this is the back end here. But before I get into it, I just want to go over to Joomla.org because this is where it all starts. So if you really want to learn more about Joomla, you want to make sure that you check out Joomla.org. You get a lot of information from here. When I started a few years ago, came across this website and learned so many things about it. So Joomla.org is a really great place to start. You can learn more about the Joomla projects. You can learn more about what's happening, releases and bug fixes, and you can try a demo and things like that. So I recommend that you definitely bookmark this page because you're going to be coming back here a whole lot to see what's happening. You're going to be here, a whole lot more. And by coming here, you get so much more information to you can learn about the Joomla contributions and things like that. So I wanted to get that out the way. So now let me go back to my page here and we can kind of get started on this training here. So pretty much Joomla is a content management system that you can be able to utilize to create powerful websites. And there's so many companies that have utilized Joomla in order for them to create a website. So if you want to build a website, right, or let's say for example, I get this question a lot. Someone just started online and they want to create, start a new business, but they just don't know where to begin. You guys see me now? Can y'all see me? Okay, great. So let's just say you're starting a new business or you've been online for a little while and you're trying to find out the best way for you to create a website. There's so many applications, so many things you can be able to utilize in order for you to build a website. And Joomla is just one of those tools that you can be able to use. Can you see me now? And Joomla is just one of those tools that you can be able to use. And it gives you so much more flexibility in terms of what you can be able to do with it. So the goal of this training session here is if you have to pause it at any time to come back to it later on, please make sure that you do so. Because this month of April, I want to spend time to really show you all the core things that you're going to need. So today's session, we're going to cover installing Joomla with the cPanel with the one click. And we're going to take a look at SP Page Builder and the Helix Ultimate Framework. Now, I'm not going to have the time to cover everything. So, for this week, if I got whatever I'm not complete with today, then the next I'm going to start doing that again. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're not already yet to get connected because I come to realize that as easy and as great as Joomla is, or any software, anything, if you don't have someone that's kind of walking you through step by step, you can get frustrated. And I've been there. I've been there times when I got so frustrated, so angry, because it's like, you know, what is going on? You know, I can't figure this out, and trying to get help sometimes. You know, the fees that people want to charge is so costly. It's just too much. So I want to save you time. I want to save you money, and I want to save you a lot of headache. So the first thing that you're going to need is, what type of website do you want to create? So throughout this whole month, I'm going to show you how to create different type of websites. We're going to create an e-commerce website. We're going to have some video stuff. We're going to create a landing page, a sales funnel, all that really cool stuff. So you want to make sure that you're staying tuned, and you want to make sure that you're subscribed to this. So let's go back here. So Joomla project is a really great resource that you can be able to use. So the first thing that you're going to need too is you need somewhere to host your website. Now, Joomla does come in a XAMPP version that you can be able to create the website offline, but for the sake of now, I'm not going to be covering that part of it. So you need a web host, web hosting company. There's quite a few out there, because in order for people to be able to access your website, your Joomla website, you have to install it or get it connected to a web host. Also, you need a domain name. What domain names do you have? If you have something already and you use that, that is great. But if not, then you probably just search online or something to get the domain name that you want to purchase from there. Okay. So once you have gotten your domain name, the first thing that you're going to need, the second thing is you need somewhere to host your websites. The places that you host your websites, they have quite a few out there. You can just search a web host, and I'm going to have an affiliate link at the bottom that I've used that works really well. So if you want to check that out. So if you have those two in place, then you're definitely ready to get started. So once you've created an account with your web hosting company, they're going to give you a login, which is called your cPanel, or your control panel, which is going to look something like this. Now, there are different, each company have a different back end. Some companies use cPanel, other companies use something else, but the goal is you need somewhere for you to be able to install Joomla. So whether it's a cPanel or a different platform that you're using, as long as you have the ability for you to install Joomla, that is something that you definitely want. So in this case, I've set up this domain name for the purpose of just training you guys, and it's called bestwebmentor.com. So I've already created the cPanel. I have cPanel access to this, and now I'm just going to log in. So now once you put your username and your password, if you don't have this information, make sure that you contact your web hosting company. They are going to get you this info. So I'm going to just kind of go back and forth here with that. Okay, it's buffering. So make sure that you have a web hosting information there. So I'm going to go through here now, and we're going to get started. So once you have your cPanel login, we're going to log in to get started. So I'm just kind of just to see what they are saying. Okay. So now let's get started. So we're in the cPanel. I'm gonna log in here, and the first thing that we want to do is I am going to be installing Joomla content management system. And by installing it, that allows me to be able to add extensions and plugins and things like that, which I'm going to explain later on, which SP Page Builder that we're going to start covering from today is an extension. So once you've logged into your cPanel, you want to go, if you're installing Joomla manually, then you would have to create a database. But I'm not doing the manual installation right now. I'm doing the cPanel. So to do so, you just go to your cPanel, you type quick install, and this is going to pull up where you can be able to install your Joomla website. So from here, you notice in the left column you have different options. So I'm going to just give it a second to load, and then I'm going to click on Joomla because that's what we're looking to do here. And then it shows you the size of it. You're going to click on install Joomla. And then if you're installing it in your primary domain name, you just choose that domain name and nothing else. And then you choose whatever email at your email.com, and you choose your username, and then you choose your site name. Now, if you're installing this on a subfolder, then you want to be able to put that folder name here. So, for example, if you want to install like if you want to build like an e-commerce site, you just put e-commerce. If you want to build whatever it is, whatever subfolder that you want to install Joomla in, this is where you put it. So since I'm not installing a subfolder, I'm just going to click on install Joomla. So it's going to pop up this message from my end. I don't need this stuff, so I'm just going to click on, you can click on this X here or click on Web Designer. So you click on that. And then you just give it a second, it's going to install it. And then you get this message, you click down for the credentials, it's going to give you the login, which you can always change later. And you click on the link. So Joomla is always going to be on your name.com/administrator. So let me just go back here in the chat, just see what people are saying here, because I know I'm getting some comments. All right, can you guys still see? As the buffering is gone, and can you still see my screen here? All right, just checking here to make sure, seeing what is happening. Okay, the buffering is gone. So guys, just please give me feedback if you're able to see it. If not, then I can be able to know exactly what's happening, because I guess there's some type of latency, with the latency on my end here. So it may take a few seconds or so later on to show up on your end. So just make sure if you've seen it, just let me know that you're seeing it. Okay, so make sure that you've gotten your logins set up, and we are going to check this out now. And whatever questions that you have, please make sure that you can put those questions here. I would love to, to get back at those, so please feel free to put your questions here, and I am definitely going to respond to them. All right, is the video still good, or is it still latency? Thanks so much, Bill, for letting me know with some of this feedback here. Thanks so much. Can you still see the video, or is it still buffering on your end? Okay, so I'm still here logging in. Just want to make sure that you guys are able to see this. Okay, so when you log in here, let me share. So once you've logged into your back end and you've installed the Joomla, you're gonna get something that looks like this. So this is what the back end looks like, and you can be able to kind of see. It's very basic, very bare, but it's very clean and very easy for you to access. So whole back end of it. So on the back end, these are where all your tabs are located. So everything that you need to do on your website is going to be located with these tabs. So you have two sections here. You have the server side, which is your cPanel back end, and then you have the Joomla side, which is the front end, back end, and I'm going to explain what that means in just a little bit. So when you first log into Joomla, your back end is going to look exactly like this one. And you go to Systems, so you can be able to check the global configurations, declare cache. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that just yet. But just know that all this buttons here, this is exactly where everything is set up. So whatever change that you want to make, you can be able to do that. So if you want to install something, you go to Extensions, you go to Manage, and you can click on Install. And I've already installed the SP Page Builder, which is right here. This is the tab right here. So let's get to it. So I'm going to go to Pages. So when you put your mouse over here, you have Pages, Integration, Languages, Add New Page. So I'm just going to click on Pages. And I've already designed some pages, but we're going to take a look at kind of breaking it down to seeing what you can do with this. And by the way, this is the pro version of it. And the pro version gives you so much more. And I'm also giving away some SP Page Builder free, the pro version. So if you are a subscriber or if this YouTube channel, then you're going to get the chance for you to win SP Page Builder Pro. So you want to go over to joomshaper.com, and it has a ton of great feature. Now they have two versions of this. They have the free version and they have the paid version. So you want to make sure that you definitely grab that paid version of it, because it gives you a ton more features. So once you've installed Joomla and you've installed Page Builder, then you're pretty much ready to go. So now this is the version 3. So the first thing that you want to do is you can either edit Page Builder on the front end or on the back end. I'm so used to editing from the back end that I normally just stay back here, but I'm getting the habit a whole lot more to start to edit Page Builder on the front end. So you have your categories. You can create as many categories as you need to. Now this is something I recommend that you do. If you're going to build your website, if you're going to build a site that has a lot of content, then you want to make sure that you're categorizing where things need to be. If you don't have the categories, then it becomes so frustrating because it's so hard for you to find out where things are. And you go over to integrations. Page Builder has the ability for you to integrate it with J2 Store. You can integrate it with Joomla. It gives you so much more. And then you have the languages. So if you want to create a multilingual website, these are all the languages that you can be able to, that's been translated to. So you click on Install, and I might have some time to go over it at the end of this week's session with Page Builder. But you click on Install based on the language that you want. So if you speak a language that's on here, then you can be able to install that language and then just start to edit it from there. And they have a brand new media section too. With the media section, you can put in your pictures and a lot of cool things here. They've pretty much redesigned it from the ground up, so that's pretty good. All right, so now let's say that, let me check it back here in the chat, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth with the chat. All right, so the video is just locked. Okay, so, and thanks guys so much again for the patience as I am moving this thing here over. Okay, can you guys still see the screen now? If you're still able to see the screen, let me know. That would be really great if you're able to see the screen. Okay, I think that screen is back up. And somehow there's some type of a latency here for some reason. By the way, guys, there's something to that over time. As I work on this more, definitely improve it a whole lot more. Because when you live stream it and you're teaching and you're, doing some technical stuff, that's always real interesting dynamics here. But if you're able to at least kind of get some of this in. Once this is done, I'm going to go back to and kind of review it just to kind of see what needs to be improved on, what needs to be fixed. Okay, thanks. And thank you so much, Bill, for your feedback. Thanks so much for the feedback. I really, really appreciate it as I work here to kind of get this. So I think it's showing now the back end here. Okay, so now you have several options. You can edit from the front end, you can edit from the back end. So let's get started first, and I'm going to show you how to do some of the editing from the back end. So I'm going to click on New. When I click on New, this is going to allow me to be able to create a brand new page. So I have the new page started. I can put this page live Joomla training, whatever you want to call this page. And then over here you have the options. You click on this options tab here. This is probably one of the first things that I do when I'm creating a page. You want to make sure that you put your open graph, your title, your image, and your description. So I'm going to call this one live Joomla training, because for SEO purposes, this is really great. And you're going to see how this plays out. Pretty much what this does is when you give someone a link to this page, it is going to pull up the title, the description, and the image for it. So I'm just going to grab an image right now. I'm just going to grab this one right here. As a matter of fact, grab this one, insert. So when I'm sharing this page, people are going to see this open graph image. You definitely want to make sure for SEO purposes and so people understand what this page is about, this is probably the first thing that I recommend for you to do. Even before you start creating your pages, make sure that you put in your title and you put in your description. So I'm going to put in the description here. And then I'm not doing any type of CSS right now. And then the publishing, you can choose the category that you want to assign this to, or if you don't want to assign this to any category, you can just leave this as it is. So right now I have 3 categories created. I have the courses, I have the masterclass, I have the freebies. So based on the category that you've created, you can be able to share this. And this is where the language comes in too. You can have this in multiple languages. So if this was a multilingual website, I could, assign this to a different language, and it's going to show up just on that language. But since it's just English, it's going to show up on just the default settings. And your access. Page Builder gives you ability, if you want to create a page that's exclusively just for, let's say, for members or just for a group of people, you can choose here. Now, I didn't go into details about the access control levels yet, which I'll probably do later on, but there are times when you're creating a page that I'll do this sometimes. Maybe I'm creating a special promotion and I want to test out to see people's, like A and B split testing. So I'm going to create one page that's specifically just for registered users, and I'm going to create another page that's for the guests or the public, and then kind of test both of those and see the response that I get. Now, special and special user, super user, are exclusively just for the person that have complete access to the back end of the site. And then you have your permissions here, which you don't really have to mess with these because these by default, they work just fine. So you don't want to touch that. So once you've set your page options, you click on apply. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do now is if you're just starting out and you don't know what type of website you want to create, or you need some type of design inspiration, this happens a whole lot. So you can either click to add a new row, or you can import a template. The import feature is really great too. So let's say you've created another page let's say someone created a page with another page builder from another website. You can import pages that were created with Page Builder, and we're going to take a look at that later on sometime this week. So now let's go over to page templates. When you click on page templates, if you have the pro version of it, it is going to show you all the different designs that you can start off with. So it gives you a bunch of different design that you can be able to choose, that you can be able to utilize for whatever that you're doing. Okay, so now if you want to create something in corporate, you click on the corporate, and it's going to kind of just adjust based on the type of site you want to create. This is really great too because this gives you a head start. There are times that I want to create websites and I don't have as much time. I'll just come here and just see what starting point that I want to use. Then I can be able to utilize that starting point from here. So with the wedding, create a wedding website. you have this one you can import. If you want to create a personal website, you can use one of these here. If you want to create a landing page, you can utilize one of these here. So this is really great option that you utilize. And right now there are 24 templates that you can be able to use as a starting point. So this only comes with the pro version. If you don't have the pro version of Page Builder, you're not going to get access to this. So that's why I definitely recommend that you grab that pro version. So we're going to come back to this later on, but let me just X that out. So you're getting started and you want to create your first page with Page Builder, and everything right now just looks so bare, you don't know where to start, what to do. That's okay. So what you want to do first is you want to click where it says add new row. That's going to give you a pop-up with several layout options. Based on these options, you can choose how you want the page to be laid out. Do you want just one column, 2 columns, 3, 4, or you want it to be split off like this? You also have the ability for you to create different size columns. So if there's a column size that you want to create that's not shown here, you can create a custom one. You just have to make sure that the number has to total up to the number 12, because they're using the Twitter bootstrap here, scaffolding. So you want to make sure that whatever number that you're adding here, that number has to total up to 12. So I can put in 7 plus 5, that's going to make it equal 12, or 8 plus 4, that's going to equal 12, or I can put in 10 plus 2, or I can even put in 1 plus 10 plus 1. That equals 12. So that's the goal and that's the idea of it. So for now, I'm just going to use just one column and just kind of get things started. Okay, so now you've created your first column. What you want to do next is you want to click over here in this corner. You can manage, if you want to, let's say you created this column and you realize that you want to change it to something else. You just don't like column. You can click here again and you can choose 8.4. You've changed it. And you see you decided now you want to change your mind. You want to create something else. You can choose 3.6.3. It changes. So this button right over here, this is where you change your columns. And this is where you also create custom columns. There are times when I start creating something, then I realize that, you know what, I want to change the columns for it. Now, I want to say something that if you were to create a column and you have content there, changing the columns is not going to delete what you have. It's just going to adjust it accordingly. So let's just start off with this one column here. So next over, you have to duplicate the row. If you want to duplicate a row that you've created, you can duplicate multiple rows with that there. So duplicate the row, and then if you want to save a row, you can save a row. So there are times when you don't want to save the entire page yet. You just want to save the content from this particular row. You can save. Now let's go over here to the row options. So you click on the row options. The admin label, top section. This is for your view only. This is only shown to the back end, on the back end of the website. It's not visible on the front end. If you want to add a title, live Joomla training, the moment that you add that title, you're going to notice that you activate different elements. You can choose the title element, which is the tags, the H1 up to H6. This determines the size of the title. So if I put H1 here, I come where it says title font size. I can specify the size for each device. So if I want the font size to be 40 for the desktop or the laptop, I can choose for the tablet. I want that to be, let's say, 35 or 30. Then I can also change the size for the mobile phone, so I can put that at 15 or 20. So this is really great, because as you get more advanced of Page Builder, you can be able to specify the title size for the device that you want people to see. So anytime that someone goes on the desktop or the computer, the font size is always going to be 40. If they switch over to a tablet, the font size of that title is going to be 30. If they switch over to a mobile phone, the font size of the title is going to be 20. And then of course here you can put the font weight, you can choose the color, you can choose the margin top, you can choose the margin bottom, which I'm going to cover a little bit later on. And this here, this is where you can put in a subtitle, learn how to build websites with Joomla Live. Okay. So now once you put that there, you also have the same option for the subtitle. You can put the subtitle font size. that can be whatever size you want it to be for the desktop. So I'm going to put this one, let's say I can put this one in 24 for the desktop or the laptop, and I can make this 15 for the tablet, and then I can make this like a 10 or 12 for the cell phones. Now it's so important. I know all these little details, seem like, I was just dragging it out, but it's so important that when you're creating your website, the device that a person is on, you want to make sure that you're adjusting the titles accordingly. Now, let's say if you didn't change the font size for this and you left this at 40, it's going to show up at 40 across all devices. And the problem with that is, even though that is responsive, if someone is looking at your website from a mobile phone or a tablet, the font size is going to be too big, and it's just not going to blend in, which I'm going to cover that later on. So you want this to be in the middle alignment. So let's say you're done with this now and you want to go over to the style. This is where you get to style your things. So we're going to take a look at that later on. And some of the new features that they've added here is to enable the background. So you want to be able to use colors, image, gradient, or video. You can be able to make your background as unique as you want it to be. So let me click on apply. Right now we have nothing on here, and let's click on save. We're going to take a look at what this looks like on the front end. So once you've clicked on save, you're going to automatically just activate this front end editor. With the front end editor, this is where you can edit your website on the front end. And once again, with this whole training, I really want to give you the core foundations for you to understand how Page Builder really works. Because the reason why I'm able to create websites so much faster now than ever before is that I've mastered the art of building a website with this. So I want to give the core foundations and everything that you need in order for you to understand how it works. So you can either click to front end edit, or you can click to preview. So let's go to the preview. In this section, I'm just going to be editing mostly on the back end. We're going to take a look at the front end later on. So as you can see right now, this is what we just typed in live Joomla training and learn how to build websites with Joomla live. So that's what we just added there. So that's the title. So we can get a little creative with this here. So let's go over back to where it says with the backgrounds here. So you can put a color. You want the background to be a different color. So let's change this background color to, let's say this blue right here. Okay, so we want the background to be a blue color. And you can also change where it says here, the fading part of it. So the opacity, you can make that darker or you can make it lighter. So let's leave that at that for now. So let's click on apply and save. So when we refresh this page, let's see what we've got. And once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. With this training, this is something new that I'm doing because I really want to connect with you and really want to help you out. So now we have the live Joomla training, and as you can see, the background color has just been changed. So we're going to leave that color how it is, but now I want to make the words to be white because that's going to pop out more. So to do so, go back to the row options and just scroll down here. This is where you can change the title color. Okay, you can change the title color for that, but it's not going to necessarily change the subtitle color. So the title color is going to be white if you change it, but this subtitle is going to stay black. So let me show you what that means. So let's click here and click on save. So we've just changed the heading color, and this should change this live Joomla to white. But now the problem is, what do you do if you want to change, you want everything to be white and not just that part of it? So we're going to go back here, and we're going to click over to the row options. You want to go back to the style. So I am going to delete here. I'm going to overwrite this. And you want to do that anytime that you want the same color for an entire row. You go over to style, and it says where it says color. You click on this. So now all the text that you have in this particular row is going to be white. So let's click on save. And once you refresh this, you're going to notice that all the text there is white. So now we can switch over to the front end editor and kind of see how that plays out. because I think that's something that's really key. So I'm going to log into the front end, and we are going to be able to see how to edit things now once we log in the front end. Now this is really cool because you can edit things and you see things happening live while you're editing them. But I always like using the back end as a reference because sometimes there's some things that you can do on the front end in terms of roles that I'm going to show you later on that that's not really possible yet on the back end. So now we'll switch over to the front end, and it shows you exactly where things are located. So you put your mouse over here, you can edit, same thing. And you can be able to choose to add different add-ons that you see on this left column here. So now let's say you want to add an accordion. You can just drag and drop it to wherever you want it to be. And once you add it on there, it's going to automatically just pop up in the left column here, accordion. And you can put in the title, accordion. And this is really cool because it allows you to be able to see things live while you're editing them. And just like on the back end where you can be able to choose the different, let me go back here. You can be able to choose the size, the header H1, the tags here, H1 and H6. You can do the same thing too on the front end. So now you've changed the background color, you've changed the title heading here, and you've changed this text right there. Then you can pretty much, with the accordion, you scroll down, accordion title, you click on this one, and this is where you can be able to edit the text. So the text that goes on there, you can change it. And then once you're done, you click on save. So let's come back here to the back end again just for a minute. One thing I want to say is that if you're going to edit on the front end and the back end, one mistake, or sometimes people forget, if let's say you spend 1 hour creating things on the front end, the same page, you have the same page open up on the back end as on the front end. You spend 1 hour and you edited stuff. I've had this happen to me before, and I had to learn this the hard way. So you've edited things, added new content, and you click on this page that says save. So now you've saved your work. But let's say on the back end, you come and you click on save again on that same page. What's going to happen is that all the work that you've already created, all the work that you've done is going to get overridden because you have the same pages open, but you saved them at different times. So what I recommend is that you either work on your website on the front end or on the back end. You don't want to work on the front end and the back end at the same time. So let me refresh this page. And I had this happen a couple times that I was working the page and somehow I forgot to do something and I just saved the page and I lost all the content that I had on there. So as you can see right now, we've lost the accordion that we created because we saved the back end first after it's already made changes to it. So that's something that you want to be mindful of, is you don't want to open up the back end and the front end at the same time. Yes, and someone just mentioned the free version doesn't have all that option. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a different install that the free version has, because I know that there are probably a lot more people that have the free version than the pro version of it. But I'm starting out with the pro version because I want to show you the full feature list that you have. So on the front end, you have sections. Sections are really great because it saves you so much time. Once again, this is only accessible on the pro version of it. That's why I'm really encouraging people and push people to get that pro version. But when I cover the free version, it has a lot that you can be able to use. But if you're really serious about becoming a web designer, if you're really serious about creating high quality websites for your client, the free version is going to work just fine. But it does have some limitations in terms of the additional features that you can't use. So right now on the pro version where it says sections, now I'm editing from the front end. So I'm switching now back between the back end and the front end. So both sections here, you can have the same thing here. The back end has you can add a section on the front end as well. So we're looking right now at the front end. And by the way, something real quickly too, if you're working, you need more space, you can just click on this here and you get the full screen of this. So that's something just want to note that. So as you're scrolling down here, you can be able to grab different sections that you want to incorporate. So sometimes when I'm creating something and I wanted to get an idea, or I see a design here that catches my eye, instead of having to create it from scratch, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag and drop this one right there. And with just that one drag and drop, I've automatically just created a new layout. So create a new layout. So I'm going to delete this top section here that I've been working on. And right now I've created just a brand new high quality layout. And this looks really, really good. So all I have to do at this point is I can just come and just change the text. One of the great things about sections is that it gives you the ability for you to be able to create websites so much faster, right? So you can pretty much just click on this and you can change the content, put whatever you wanted to say on there just from this. So with just that one click, let me refresh the page here so you can see what it looks like. But with just that one click, drag, I have a brand new website. So even if this is all that I have, then this looks pretty good. So that's why I'm encouraging people to get that pro version of it, because we definitely want to support the developer. So now this is a great starting point with the sections here. So let's move over back here, and let's say that I wanted to add another section, but I didn't want it to be anything that's on here. So on this section here, I have a library. You can have saved sections, you can have saved add-ons. This is where you can have a ton of different add-ons that you can be able to save. Now, you want to save the add-ons because if you're going to recreate different pages and you want to kind of have like what's like a preset. So let's say you have a certain layout, and I'm going to show you that later on throughout this week. You have a certain layout that you love that you've designed. You can save that on the library and just pull that up later on. But let's say you wanted to get a different section for our content. So you click on the content here. So I'm just going to drag this one right here and just put it at the bottom. And I want to show you how fast it is for you to create a website. Now with just that one drag, my website is almost complete. Let's say I wanted to add some more stuff on here. I'm just going to drag this and drop it and scroll down again. And I see this section that I like. I'll just drag and drop it. As you can see, I'm creating a website just by dragging and dropping. This is something I really love about page builders, and there's so many that we're going to cover throughout this month. When I started creating websites years ago, it took so much time because I had to hand code it. And back then, in order for you to create a website like this one, hand coding it took a lot of time. But with just drag and drop, I'm creating a new website. So even if you're doing this for a client, you know, if a client shows you a website that they want to model after, all you have to do with Page Builder is come through here and just see what looks similar to this, and you can customize this later. So I'm going to drag this section right there. So now I have a brand new website in less than 15 seconds. I have a brand new website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Save, and we're going to go on the front end, and we're going to see what we just created within just that few seconds. So if you're looking to create websites at record time, record speeds, look, we just created this website within a few seconds and it looks ready to go. You can pretty much edit anything else on this page. So let's go back here on this section. So, okay, so let's say you create this now and you realize that now there's certain sections that you really don't want and you want to delete it. So I'm going to come through. I don't like this section, so I'm just going to delete this one. I'm going to delete that one. Okay, scroll down. Let's say I want to come back here to sections again, and I want to put a price in. So I'm going to scroll this here. Let me grab some price and see what type of designs they have. They have some beautiful designs for the pricing that you can choose. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I want to put this new price in here. I'm going to create this. So now I've just created a prices and a plans page. And if I want to edit the content of this here, I'll just click on each column. And it's going to change. I can change the names for it. Where it says 30-day trial, I can change it from 30 to 7. And as you're changing it, that shows. So let's come back here. We're going to go back here. And let's say I wanted to go back to sections here. I want to add call to action. Grab the call to action. Which one I want to choose? Just grab one of these and just drop it on the page. And I'm just going to click on save. And I'm going to refresh this here so we can see what we've designed within just a few minutes. So this is the page that we just created. And this is absolutely incredible. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. It shows you so much, so much. And we've designed all that within just a matter of seconds. So that's the power that Page Builder has to offer. And we are going to be really digging in into this a little bit more. So once again, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel if you haven't already done so yet. This is something new that I'm doing because I really want to connect with you. I really want to be able to help you along this journey of you creating websites, because the web industry is really, really huge, and there's so many people who need websites. There's so many people who need websites done, and if you can get the basic skills that you need, you can save so much time. Just think about this. If you were to go out now to hire a web designer to design the page that I just created for you, they'll probably charge you at least a good designer probably start like $250 minimum. And if you want to get the expensive designers like myself, that if I had to charge someone to create a custom website, you know, it can be a little bit more, up to, you know, even $1,000 just to be able to design something. Now, I'm going to show you later on throughout the week if you want to create something custom instead of just doing this drag and drop. So the drag and drop is really great. You're just getting started. You don't know what to do yet, or you're just trying to figure things out. You want to be able to utilize these sections here. And as you get more familiar with it, then you can be able to do a little bit more. So let's go back now on the back end of it here. So once again, keep in mind, I still have this back end open, and I've already made so many changes. So right now, this is what our web page looks like. And I've done a lot of editing on the front end, but if you have the same page that is open on the back end and you forget to close it out and you click, let's say I've spent a few minutes and I'm creating a custom website and I click on save, and not realizing that I still have the same page open on the front end. Let's see what's going to happen when I come back to the front end to refresh the page. So when I refresh this page, let's see what happens. So now all the work that was done is completely gone. All the hard work, the effort that you've put in is complete. You start from scratch. So that's why I always tell people, don't open up Page Builder on the back end or the front end at the same time, because that's going to confuse you. You might forget that you have it open in the back end and then come and click on, you know, save, and you got to start over. So that's something that you want to be mindful of. So thank you guys here for staying tuned and staying engaged. Definitely appreciate the feedback. So this right now is just to kind of get you started. This is just to kind of get you to understand how Page Builder work, what you're going to be able to use it for, and we are going to be creating a lot more stuff. Now, I do utilize this add-ons here, but there are times when, you know, I want to show you how to be able to customize things. So we're going to be taking a look at that later on. And also, let me close this out here. We are going to be utilizing the Helix framework, the Helix Ultimate framework, which has a really cool features with it. You know, it's brand new. So the Helix framework has a lot of stuff that we can, you know, be able to utilize. But for now, I'm not going to switch over to that yet. So this just kind of gets you started with the Page Builder. So make sure you want to go over to, let's check out, first you want to go over to the LearnJoomlaFast.com website, and we have really affordable pricing for those that are looking to learn Joomla. There are over 1,000 videos, and our packaging start from as little as $3.95 per month, $11 for 3 months, and $44 for 1 year subscription. So with that, you get access to a bunch of videos. You get support from myself. If you have questions, you can be able to submit a support ticket, which on YouTube, you can't submit a ticket. So this site gives you so much more flexibility and so much more stuff in the back end. And I just want to kind of show you the back end, what it looks like, of what I've designed using Page Builder. This is something that's really really cool. So I'm going to show you here the back end part of it, so you can be able to see what it looks like. So let me see if I can be able to remember login. So I'm going to come back to that login for that later on. But you get pretty much a lot of different things, and you have, once again, over 1,000 different videos that you can be able to watch from home, from your desktop, from anywhere in the world. And it took me a lot of time to create this because I really want to invest in you. I really want to invest in you because I believe that you can be able to do something with Joomla. As I mentioned before, for those of you who haven't seen the story, I started out with Joomla. I didn't have an experience. I didn't have nothing. It was frustrating. I didn't know what to do. At the time, we didn't have as much content out there for me to be able to learn. But now I have been able to learn Joomla, and I am so excited and so grateful because the skills that I've learned now has helped me so much to be able to have success. I pretty much set my own schedule, what time that I want to come in the office. If I don't feel like going to the office a certain day, then I don't go. And I have people right now that are paying me. They're reaching out to me because they know that I'm the go-to guy in this industry. So they're reaching out to me, asking me a bunch of questions, and kind of have me to train their team. I have companies right now that they'll hire me to train their team on how to create websites, how to do digital marketing, and that's another part of it too that we're going to cover later on. Is we're going to be covering the digital marketing part of it later on. We're going to be covering the digital marketing because in today's world, just having a website by itself, I don't care how great that website looks, people are just not going to come to it. They just won't just arrive at it. So in order for you to have a successful website, you need to be able to learn how to market that website. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do also in this course. So thanks again for tuning in here, and I'm trying to log into something and just kind of show. I always tell people, if you want to be successful, especially as a web designer, you have to start off with one software that you want to master. Don't jump to like 6, 7 different things, because if you're trying to put your energy into 20 different things, you're not going to find success that way. At the end, you're going to end up being more frustrated, end up being more confused. So let me show you the back end now. This is the back end of the LearnJoomlaFast.com website. And it's a custom one that I built using Page Builder. So just like as an inspiration to you, I love creating things that are clean, simple, and easy to get to. And as you can see right now, we have over 1,000 videos. You put your mouse over this, you can be able to, different things here. But this is a custom back end that I built using Page Builder. And you're going to be able to do the same thing. You can be able to create any type of website that you want. So now let's take a look here. Go to Browse Courses. So when someone logs into there, you can be able to browse all the existing courses that's out there. And if you want to watch something, and once again, this is built with Page Builder and other tools that I utilize to be able to kind of get it like this. So if you want to be able to watch something, you click on here, and you can be able to watch whatever course that you want. But I just want to show you this just as an inspiration, because this is going to save you so much time. I got a quote one time from someone to find out how much it was going to cost them for me to create my website. And they told me that if they had to build this website, it's going to cost me at least $4,000. And I was like, wow, $4,000. And it took me maybe a week to design and implement this site when I created it. Now I'm always updating, the website. But the point that I'm making here is that it gives you a lot of flexibility, and you save so much time and you save so much money with this. So make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure that you stay connected. If you have any questions, please put the questions contact me. Go through the learnjoomlafast.com website. I would love to hear back from you. And I'm going to be doing a whole lot more of this live sessions. So those that can join in whatever questions that you have, because I really want to be able to help you, learn new skills. Because if you're able to learn a new skill, trust me, you're going to have so much more options. If you don't have new skills, then you're pretty much stuck. As the world is moving forward, things are changing, you're stuck. So by learning how to, build websites, that's something that you can be able to use, but it's just so much more than just creating websites. So thank you so much for joining, and it was really, really great having you in this session. If you have any questions, once again, comments, feedback, and I love the feedback because this helps me to make things better every time that I'm doing this. And the goal is I want to keep getting better in terms of the live streaming thing here with the training. I do have my pro setup back here, but it takes some time to kind of get that going. So make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Whatever questions you have, I would love to hear from you. And thanks so much. And you have a wonderful day.